Hello bread fans, this is Jay of Insane Coaster Junkie, and today's video focuses on one of the best aspects of being at Waldameer, and that's being a season pass holder. I have known a season pass to the park since the 2017 season, and still continues to this day. While I value most aspects of owning a season pass, such as surprise discounts, exclusive events, and overall going more than the average guest, the best part of being at Waldameer is definitely the memories I make while visiting. Whether it's on or off camera, there are definitely highlights I have experienced throughout my life, and today I will be sharing those said moments. Here's a few ground rules to establish. First off, only one entry per operating season. I'll be starting from when I got my first season pass in 2017 all the way up to the present day. 2. I will only be going in chronological order to avoid any confusion. Finally, any video resources I talk about throughout my journey will be linked in the description below to credit to correct people, as well as give recognition, as I couldn't have done this journey alone. Without further ado, let's dive in. 2017. The first year I acquired a season pass to the park, and finally I would be visiting it more than 3 or 4 times in a given season. There was a lot I could look forward to. There was definitely some contenders as well. While I didn't really film anything special, I did cover the opening of the Battle of Lake Erie and captured the wondrous but cringy journey of the season with my movie W3. But to represent my best visit from this time, we have to rewind to where it all began. Season Pass Photo Day was a special time for me. Basically, how this works is that the park is open a week before the general public, and season pass holders get the chance to ride a few select rides and overall enjoy what the park has to offer, a tradition that continues to this day. Whether it's a new ride to cover, follow up with a construction update, or some other third thing, 2017 would be the start of this journey on April 29th. However, not much was captured since I didn't film much at the time. A good chunk of it, though, however, was filmed for the aforementioned W3 movie. The cold weather and rain never stopped me from having fun, as I got to ride a merry-go-round, Scrambler, and Music Express. And while I wouldn't be really filming POVs just yet, what my dad captured that day was only a fraction of the entire story, and my deleted media also consisted of an early conception of a vlog and trying out the new Vault Laser Maze game. To summarize, I would recap the new additions for the 2017 season and overall take some off-ride footage of the rides. Notable users such as Coaster Guy 101 caught wind of this new style I would be filming and would subscribe for the long haul, which if you are a subscriber from that time period, thank you for dealing with the cringe for this long, and the 2017 season that would follow was a successful one at best and a learning experience for all. 2018 would be a year for the ages, and consisted of the most amount of new parks I have visited in a given year, with 5 in total, but the Waldameer season had its fair share of curiosity. While I had staples such as covering Balloon Race and Cannonball, launching Park-and-Eat, and starting the modern concepts of what videos I make today, one does stand out, and another Waldameer tradition would come into form with this next entry. Opening Day. The Magnum XL 200 opus to start any roller coaster season. While the concept within my world is beyond words and beyond comprehension, gravity knows no force. Anyway, Opening Day has one of my all-time favorite traditions I have been doing every year since 2016, with the exception of 2020. More on that later. Opening Day 2018 was actually in my favor weather-wise, as past visits have been either cold or just plain disgusting. Sadly, I don't have any footage from this day I have archived, as this could have been the perfect place to start of what is now the modern day vlog, but what I mainly focused on is the park itself. However, I managed to get on the first train of the season on Ravine Flyer 2, which has always been a big deal for me and one of my favorite opening day traditions to follow. But it also helped that I was with my 2 good friends, Spider Jared and Gilbert221. After my legendary ride, I was interviewed by the local news station Jet24, and I talked about what I liked most about Waldameer. Gabe would also be interviewed and would be featured in the news segment Behind Closed Doors, Waldameer's Wonder, which aired in late May. Other than that, it was just your basic opening day with getting my first rides and POVs for the season, and overall just enjoying getting back to the park. Although Ravine Flyer 2 would be the center of attention once again, as Jared and I would make a bet who would ride it the most in one day. I would end up getting 32 rides that day while he got 30. Which remains the Waldameer record for me to this day, and second all-time behind the defunct Blue Streak at Connie at Lake Park, with 61 rides in a day. There were other outside factors that helped fuel the saga, such as the new Shinedown album, Attention Attention, as well as a massive stuffed crust pizza festival at Pizza Hut after the visit. Opening Day 2018 remains my favorite opening day of all time because of the events that helped establish the future of the channel, and for once Erie cooperates with the weather so I can actually be warm and dry. 2019 was honestly the peak for the Insane Coaster Junkie channel. From the amount of parks I visited to the records I kept smashing, there was a healthy amount of visits to choose from. Season Pass Photo Day was considered because of the debut of Chaos and the overall impact it made for the local community. The Tri-Sea Tour was considered, but Waldameer was not involved in the trip as Darien Lake in Canada's Wonderland was the main focal point. This was probably the toughest ones to judge as the year as a whole was legendary according to longtime Bread fans, but one does come out on top. June 26 might have been an ordinary Waldameer visit for most people, but in the world of ICJ, this was a day months in the making. Coaster Kids meets Insane Coaster Junkie was one of my favorite vlogs I ever filmed as it featured the most guests in a single video, and the overall impact it made still continues to this day. Logan Joyner of Coaster Kids, now known as Thrills United, and his dad Jeff were doing a national coaster tour, and Waldameer was one of the many stops around my home state. I would also meet up with some new and recurring people such as Callie of Callie the Coaster Enthusiast, Jared of Spider Jared, Gavin of Gavin's Cereal Box, Ryan of Coaster Exposure, and much more. Shoutouts to all of you. The day followed a basic pattern of riding the major rides, and the highlight was everyone being featured to talk about Ravine Flyer 2. And there were other great moments such as the Wendy's Tea Party takeover, the Water Wars battle Logan and Callie faced, and the random parking eat feature I did when they gave Erie's famous Smith's hot dogs the seal of approval. Speaking of, Logan and Jeff were some of the nicest people I have ever met in my time in this community. I have been watching their channel since about 2017, and learning about Logan's story of autism really touched me, because looking at myself with autism as well, anything can be accomplished in life, and to face it, you must be brave and ride on. That motto still applies to me in the coaster world, as well as real life to this day. The amount of lessons I learned just being around other enthusiasts and at a home park like Waldameer was something I needed in a summer that was considered the best ever in the channel. As a weird fact, this was shot 2 days before the infamous Chaos malfunction where 16 riders were stuck upside down for 2 minutes as a result of a loose wire. It was just a strange feeling to fall back on, but no one expected to see what came next for Insane Coaster Junkie. 2020. A year that most people, including myself, would like to forget about. After a very strong start to the year, everything collapsed in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic shutting down life as a whole. With case spreading like wildfire, a freak bike accident nearly killing my summer, Connie at Lake Park shut down, and Waldameer opening late and having a very short season, there were a few bright spots to consider in the whirlwind that was 2020. About 3 weeks after the park finally opened for the summer, I was starting to get into a better rhythm as well as recovering well from my bike accident a month prior, as I was walking again, but with a boot of course. The whirlwind and the Walderific feeling was meant to fit as a dumb sitcom, but the entire game plan was changed drastically because of one decision to not go to Waterworld for the day. This ended up being the right call as I would be meeting a person of epic proportions. Meet Ryan, otherwise known as the Rye Guy, a smaller YouTuber who was starting his Pennsylvania trip and having Waldameer as the first stop. I ended up being a major help to him and his cousin Josh as I helped them get every credit and POV they needed, and while my video isn't really the greatest in terms of execution, seriously, I think it's horrible on my end, Ryan's video called Ravine Flyer 2 blew my mind is the main thing I'll be talking about. I quickly learned that his video style is one of the most fun I've ever participated in, and while I had the pleasure to meet several roller coaster YouTubers throughout my tenure, this was honestly my favorite one as I got to integrate some of my universe into his, which came out as a better product. From accusing Charlie Cox not wearing a mask to the countless SpongeBob references and everything in between, it was definitely a fun day at Walgreens. Ryan would become a good friend of mine over the off-season as I participated in a few of his Hershey Park videos, as well as finally learning Adobe Premiere full-time and how to use it for its full potential. And I have to seriously thank you for this refreshing change, as this makes my videos more enjoyable than ever before. 2021 was the start of the modern-day Insane Coaster Junkie with the rebuilding era. After quite possibly the toughest off-season I ever faced, and doubts that Insane Coaster Junkie was gone for good, hello rumors and speculation, I'm back! The return to form was a rather strong one, and there were plenty of options to file through. Opening day was considered for a return to something that is called normal. How about Waldameer House Party? It was a cult classic, but the whole story would involve talking about aspects of working there, and that's against company policy. But there is one video that most Bread fans can agree that is my best work up to this point, and some might say it's the last riff that keeps on going. September 4th, 2021 will go down in history as possibly the best Waldameer visit of all time, an end of summer celebration part 2, Waldameer Takes the Last Rift definitely takes that spotlight times Joe Biden. Known as the last Rift vlog to Bread fans, this capped off the 2021 season at Waldameer in the best way possible. Now, I have been known to make rather strong endings in vlogs every coaster season in 2018, 2019, and even 2020 to an extent, but the ending for 2021 is best described as taking the best elements from that season and combining it into a near 25-minute legendary expedition. I have said it before in a few videos and I'll say it again. This is my favorite video I have ever made on the channel, and while I talked about some of the aspects in the earlier video, allow me to talk about the specs the animator of the video. Everything was carefully planned from an editing standpoint, but as for the visit itself, it was do or die. I managed to meet up with Alex, Emily, and Lucas once again, as well as meeting some new faces, and what was accomplished is something compared to euphoria. From the holding hand train to the Frog Hopper Marathon with my youngest Bread fans, meeting up with a high school friend of mine, to my work day that day, and X-Screen blindfolded, don't forget, because God, I hated that. It was all between the lines, but the ending is what set this trip to the top. The combination of the double last ride of the night, pure excitement, emotional Carolina Crown tuning sequence, and the heartwarming exit montage to Beartooth's The Last Rift wrapped up quite possibly the best season since 2019. And I can't wait to see what the 2022 season has in store, and I can't wait to see you all in the parks. Literally, 2021 ended off on a good note, and my plan is to keep on. Overall, recapping some of my best moments of Waldameer was very difficult to consider, and honestly a last-minute idea made on the spot. Just like a great heavy metal album, the greatest memories are the ones that you don't expect coming. And at the end of the day, being a season pass holder is a privilege, not a reward. And while I might savor the memories, I'm still an average guest who comes to the park. What makes me come back is moments like these that help me indicate where I am in my life and what impact I might have made for the people involved in the park as a whole. Maybe in a few years from now, we can revisit this topic with additional commentary with other visits or branch out to the industry as a whole. But for now, it's always great to start at the basics and progressively work forward. I seriously thank you all of you Bread fans for your endless support throughout the years. A small act really does go out a long way. What is your favorite memory of being at Waldameer? Or if you have met me in person, your favorite memory from that? Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe as there will be more videos coming, and we will see you all in the parks very soon.